Welcome to the Dynamic Learning Program in Action. Today's edition is about the CVIF Dynamic Learning Program Learning Activity Sheets.
So at this point, we will move on to the parts of a CVIF-DLP Learning Activity Sheet. Now, the CVIF-DLP LAS can actually come in many forms, but it has three basic parts. So we'll notice that in an LAS, there is a portion there wherein we will need to fill in the basic information. So here, students will fill out all the information being asked, such as name, the grade and the section, the date of the activity, the subject, the type of activity, even the activity title. So by doing this, the student immediately knows what the lesson is all about. So for example, if the lesson is all about addition of fraction, so the student will already have an idea that the lesson is about adding fractions. Now, aside from the title, also important is the learning target, wherein the student will have an idea of the goal. So what is this activity for? So if the activity again is about adding fractions, then the goal can be to add fractions with the same denominators. So this is very important because, studies have shown that our brains are target-oriented. And if a student knows that this is the goal or the aim of this lesson, then he will be guided on how to go about the activity. And lastly, the reference will also be provided. Where did the teacher get this activity? Did it come from the internet? Did he refer to a textbook or to an article? So these three basic information are provided and also written by the student. Now, aside from the basic information, the next part of the dynamic learning program is the concept notes, or sometimes we call it the concept digest. So you notice that we call it the concept digest because from the word digest, it only shows that what is placed in the learning activity sheet is the main or the basic idea to be learned by the student. So in the concept notes, students write, read, and study the bite-sized lesson provided by the teacher. So the students will write it down, and after the concept digest, in order for the student to understand the lesson better, some examples can actually be given. And lastly, in order for the teacher to check if the student understood the lesson, an activity will follow. So in the activity, it can be in a form of a question or an exercise wherein they will again copy the question and then try to answer it based on how they understood it from copying and reading the concept digest and looking at the different examples. So those are the three parts of the learning activity sheet. Number one, the basic information. Second, the concept digest with examples to help students understand the lesson better. And number three, the exercise or the questions.
For updated details about CVIF-DLP or CVIF Dynamic Learning Program, continuously follow us and visit CVIF-DLP Facebook page, CVIF-DLP discussion group, and DLP.ph.